Hi guys, it's your boy KillerzoneReacts, and guys, man, I'm about to plug you all on, man. So there's this video which I've seen. The title just piqued my interest. So the title is Beyblade was peak, which is facts, man. I don't know which kind of childhood you had, but as long as you were born, you were within the 2000, no, like not even born. As long as you are like conscious, you know, you are like 6 years, 5 years from 2005 till 2013. I'm telling you, you could have not missed watching Beyblade. Beyblade was such a peak. Is Beyblade an anime, by the way? I think Beyblade's a cartoon. It can't be considered an anime. But anyways, let's just put it as a cartoon. Beyblade was such a legit cartoon, man. It must have been in your top 5 at least, man. So yeah, this YouTuber is reacting about it, and I want to see what bro's preaching, man. But hey, if you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let's continue on this anime community of ours, man. And let's give Beyblade their flowers. Let's go. Let's listen to them being given their flowers.
There were 5 major anime series that got kids into anime.
Oh, Beyblade was an anime, sorry.
These series were Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Beyblade, and Bakugan.
Yo,
all 5 of these...
did you guys watch Digimon? Digimon is actually different, man. Digimon is for the OGs. Nah, if you watch Digimon, comment down below, man. Digimon has something beautiful also.
Series will go on to be huge franchises and sell hella merchandise, with the range going from kids' toys and plushies to whatever the hell this is. Now, if you were born from like the mid-90s to like mid to late 2000s, I'd say, at least one of these series had you in a chokehold at some point during your childhood. For me personally, it was Pokemon, Digimon, and Beyblade. I never really got
Pokemon, Digimon, and Beyblade. Pokemon, Digimon, and Beyblade. Okay, no. Bro had good taste. Bro has good taste. Oh yeah, that's decent.
too much into Bakugan, and Yu-Gi-Oh was too...
Oh, but even me, I didn't fuck with Bakugan like that, guys, man. Come on, man. I know, but nah, man, I don't know. Bakugan, the opening theme was hit, man. Like, that's top notch, but I just didn't fuck with it that way, man. So me, my top 3 was Pokemon, Deadass. I can't put Digimon over there. Pokemon, Beyblade, and I can put Digimon. Digimon, I didn't watch it like that. I can add Goku, I guess, Dragon Ball Z, but I don't include them. I don't include that. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to fuck with Yu-Gi-Oh! Also by this. Those are my top 3. Yeah.
Too complicated for my 7-year-old brain, so I didn't really get into it till I was much older. So Pokemon, Digimon, and Beyblade were the 3 that I stuck with. Pokemon has some of my favorite games of all time. Digimon, in my opinion, has a really underrated anime, at least for the first few seasons. But as you guys read by the title, the one I'll be talking about today is Beyblade. Now Beyblade has multiple different series, and today I'll be talking about the best one, okay? I ain't talking about that old shit, and I ain't talking about that new shit.
Nah, the old shit was actually peak, man. Okay, it wasn't peak, but it was decent. Nah, I watched before I started watching the Beyblade is going to talk about Beyblade Metal Burst, if I'm not wrong. I was watching the old shit on YouTube, man, while doing exercises in my room. Don't ask me why, but yeah. And this new shit, Beyblade Burst, nah, in fact, all these new cartoons, all these new animes, not anime, but all these new cartoons are just on some BS, man. This being included.
I'm talking about the best Beyblade series ever. Bay Wheels. I meant Beyblade Metal Saga. Hell yeah.
Metal Master, yeah. Bro doesn't want to get copyrighted, I swear. Bro's muted. Nah, I actually feel his pain, man. I don't lie, guys, man. Because I know I haven't muted my shit. But if Bro knows he'll get copyrighted, why is he putting the opening theme? That doesn't make sense. Anyway.
So, Beyblade Metal Saga, probably the most iconic Beyblade series. I mean, everybody knows the intro. Beyblade, let it rip. That shit used to get me and so many other kids hyped back in the day. But that intro is just a small taste of how fire this show is. But to give a background for the show for those who don't really know, and
who don't know, who does know this shit,
Beyblade
man?
Metal Saga is the 2nd generation of the Beyblade franchise. It would start off as a manga in 2008, and not even a full year later will receive an anime adaptation, which will be the main source for the series' success, along with the merchandise. The Metal Saga has 3...
Yo, the merchandise had everybody on chokehold, man. Nah! Having those toys and then going against your friends with the... I'm telling you, that shit was... You just had to be there, man. You just had to be there.
Different parts. There's Metal Fusion, then Metal Masters, and then lastly Metal Fury. There is also a fourth part, and that's Shogun Steel, but in all honesty, nobody really cared about it. Like, who actually likes Shogun Steel? All jokes aside though, Shogun Steel really just felt like they were trying to drag the show on for no reason. Well, I mean, there is a reason, and that's obviously money. And it's very reflective in the show's quality, but it really just felt unnecessary considering the fact that Metal Fury ended things off pretty well. But I'm not really going to talk too much about Shogun Steel in this video. I'm mainly just focusing on the main three. Now, with that being said, what exactly makes these three series so great? Well, to put it simply,
Yo, Boom is about to release a speech over here, guys.
Beyblade shows us the amount of enjoyment we can get from two spinning tops clashing into each other. But not only that, it gives us valuable lessons, like the true importance of teamwork and hard work, along with the ability to persevere through tough situations. All of this making Beyblade one of the most important and impactful series of our time. The end.
Bruh, that's some fairy tale type shit ending. Friendship type ass. The hell?
Is what I would say if it was really that deep. See, the Metal Saga is pretty much like the first generation, but on crack, which is wild considering the first generation has some crazy moments itself, especially when it comes to the Beyblades and their abilities. But anyways, pretty much everyone in this universe has a Beyblade. Like in this show, Beyblade is more than just a sport. This shit really gets serious. Instead of guns, I'm pretty sure the cops in this universe just use Beyblades. Hell, even Moses himself used the Beyblade to part the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this show is just straight up ridiculous at certain points. But that's part of the reason why I love it so much. Anyways though, the main characters of the show are Jinka, Kenta, Benkei, and Madoka. Now this obviously changes as the show goes on and more characters are introduced. Jinka's main Beyblade is the iconic Pegasus. Kenta's main Beyblade is Sagittario. Benkei has Tauros. And Madoka is the only one in the group that doesn't have a Beyblade, except for that one random ass time. But she's really just the mechanic of the group. Now my thoughts on these four characters are that they're fine. Madoka and Benkei are fine. Kenta's alright for like most of the series until Metal Fury, where he gets a lot of development. And Jinka as the main protagonist of the whole series is kind of mixed for me. On one hand, he has a lot of cool and badass moments, like even in his introduction he was standing on business, but on the other hand he makes a lot of questionable decisions sometimes. And I know it's a kid's show and all, but oh my god, is that plot armor thick. One scene that fully demonstrates this is his fight with Damien. So this is near the end of Metal Masters, right? And Jinka's team is going against these guys.
Nah, there's no plot armor in Beyblade. Damn. Okay, now let me listen.
His named Team Starbreaker, and one of the guys on that team is named Damien. Now this guy was on demon time in this entire part of the series. Bro was soloing teams of some of the strongest bladers in the show, which sounds absolutely crazy, but it all makes sense once you find out what his Beyblade is. The Beyblade he possesses is Hell Kerbix, which is actually one of the few Beyblades I had in real life. Now this Beyblade is pretty broken. It's a stamina type Beyblade, meaning that it's able to spin for a really long time, but it's also able to turn into an attack type Beyblade. So not only is it gonna—
What? Nah, that's crazy, guys. Nah, okay, I didn't watch this type this season of Beyblade. I didn't watch this one, so I don't know who this nigga is, but yeah, stamina and an attack type, you can switch. That's that. If you've not watched Beyblade, like, that's possible technically. That shouldn't be possible. So bro's actually on steroids. Deadass. He's not even exaggerating.
Stay in the ring for a while, but it can also deal some pretty serious damage. But this ain't even the craziest thing about it. Its final attack, and hear me out on this, is to literally summon the gates of hell, and it changes up your Beyblade.
Oh shit, nah, I know these. I know shit, guys. No, I'm not even camping like that, but actually, chill, I'm being called. Sorry for that interruption. Let's get it. Oh, so as I was saying, guys, I actually did watch this series. You know, I did remember because of this Hell of Gates, this Gate of Hell. Because I remember Pegasus and Jinka, they were dragged inside that shit, man. And let me tell you, nah, this enemy was actually smoke type, man. Nah, I remember this enemy. Like this small kid, that guy who's doing all this shit, who can drag people inside the Hell Gate. Nah, he was actually on Demon Time the whole last series, I won't lie.
Spirits, finishing them off and giving them a big game over. So yeah, pretty damn broken. But yet somehow Jinka was able to beat this guy. These two were literally fighting in hell, and it seemed like Damien could have had a chance. But Jinka started going on this whole, oh, I'm doing this for my friends shtick. And like 9 times out of 10 whenever a protagonist does this, some bullshit's about to happen. So Jinka pretty much breaks out of the chains and they end up back in the real world where Jinka defeats him. Now again, I know this is a kid's show, but even when I was a kid, I thought this was kind of dumb. Even with all that though, it's still one of my favorite fights from the series. Anyways though, with that aside, there are a few other characters that I think are worth mentioning. And the first one is Kyoya.
Kyoya was always down on business, guys. His Pegasus is Okay, so you'll explain. I'm sorry, guys, but Kyoya was always with it. Nick. He was always with it.
As Jinka's rival at the beginning, but he would eventually join Jinka's team and become one of the main cast members. His Beyblade is Leon, and it's probably my favorite defense type Beyblade. He has a pretty cool design, and honestly he's just one of my favorite characters. Tsubasa is also another character I think is worth mentioning. He has some really cool moments and great fights. I also really do like his Beyblade, which is Eagle. Another character that's really worth mentioning is Masamune. He was introduced in Metal Masters, and I ain't gonna lie, at first I thought he was pretty annoying, but as the series went on I started enjoying him more and more. His Beyblade is Unicorno, and is also another one of my favorite Beyblades. And Masamune overall is just another one of my favorite characters, but not my favorite, because that goes to the next character I'm about to talk about, and that character is the iconic, the one and only Dragon Emperor himself, Ryuga.
Oh,
man, I don't think
Ryuga was Black Apple's energy in the first season. I remember this nigga, man, turning himself into a demon, man, when he was fighting with this nigga Pegasus. Jinka, oh my gosh, now Ryuga was with it. He was still with it even the other seasons, man.
I think y'all understand. I've been waiting this whole video just to talk about this man. If there were a list of reasons to go back and watch the show again, Ryuga would be number one. Because there were just so many times where this dude was carrying the show on his back. And this may sound like I'm glazing, but if you've seen the show, you completely understand what I mean. Now, he may seem like a generic anime antagonist, and maybe he is, but this dude was truly an enjoyable character throughout the whole show. Just straight up Black Air Force energy. I mean, this dude was literally training in a volcano. You know how raw you gotta be to do some stuff like that? He also had one of the most overpowered Beyblades, being El Drago. During Metal Masters, Ryuga didn't even need to use a launch cord or nothing for this Beyblade. All he had to do was just throw it and it would spin on its own. And he was able to take out multiple bladers with just this. Like, bro is the true definition of aura. Honestly, he deserves his own video. But with the characters aside now, I want to talk about the actual story. The first part of the series is Metal Fusion. It starts off kind of episodic with the characters mostly just doing side quests. It also introduces us to most of the main characters. The first half also sets up the main antagonist group, which is named Dark Nebula. It's ran by this guy named Doji. They become a lot more important in the second half, which is mostly a tournament arc called the Battle Bladers, where Jinka and his team fights against Dark Nebula. We get a bunch of cool fights, with the most important one being Jinka versus Ryuga at the end, where El Drago pretty much enters Ryuga's body, and he basically gains this sort of dragon form, but before he can get any stronger, Jinka defeats him, and Dark Nebula is defeated, and that's pretty much the end of Metal Fusion. Next up is Metal
Metal Fusion was the first season. Oh, yeah, man. I didn't. The names be confusing, man, guys. I won't lie. But yeah, the first season was beef, man. When Ryuga fought with Jinka, man, nah, it was something else.
Masters, and this is probably the most memorable part for me. It's pretty much a big world tournament between different teams. We get a bunch of great fights like Kyoya versus Jinka, Tsubasa versus Team Excalibur, Ryuga versus Jack, the Damien fights that I mentioned earlier, along with a bunch of others. Now, Metal Masters doesn't just focus on this tournament, because at the end the main characters had to defeat this organization named Hades, and they basically took one of Masamune's friends and are trying to turn him into quote-unquote the perfect blader. Pretty much, to make a long story short, our main characters defeat this organization Hades, and we get Masamune's friend back to normal, and everything ends happily ever after. That is until Metal Fury. Now, Metal Fury doesn't really involve any tournaments or nothing. It basically gives us a bunch of lore about the Beyblade in this world. But basically in Metal Fury, the god of destruction Nemesis is about to be reborn, and 10 legendary bladers must be chosen to defeat him. Now, all 10 bladers have what's called a star fragment inside of each of their Beyblades. 3 of these guys are Jinka, Kyoya, and Ryuga. These 3 are included in what's called the Bladers of the 4 Seasons, with Jinka representing fall, Kyoya representing spring, Ryuga representing summer, and Chris, who's a new character, represents winter. The rest of the legendary bladers are the Solar System Bladers, all of which are completely new characters. You have Yuki, whose planet is Mercury, Tithi has Venus, King has Mars, Dynamis has Jupiter, and Aguma has Saturn. Now, the last legendary blader is Rago, who is the main antagonist of Metal Fury and is the son of Nemesis. Now, this guy is pretty much the strongest character in the series. His Beyblade is the insane Diablo Nemesis, and he pretty much solos everyone. Even the GOAT Ryuga dies in battle. RIP to the realest.
Dies! When nigga died, I didn't know that shit. I didn't know that shit that my nigga died. Yeah, does. Okay, didn't watch this season then.
Character in the show, but his death isn't in vain, because his power goes to Kenta, which I forgot to mention. The two kind of had a student and teacher relationship throughout Metal Fury, and this power up that Kenta receives is sort of like the payoff. Anyways though, Rago and Nemesis pretty much merge together, and with there being pretty much no way to defeat this guy, it ends in sort of like a Boo Saga type of way, where every blader in the world sends their power to Jinka, and Jinka defeats Nemesis and Rago, finally giving us the end of the series.
Man, that's blood on God, man.
In all honesty, looking back at the Beyblade Metal Saga, it was pretty fun. Again, the series was really big for me and a lot of other people during our childhoods, and making this video had me really nostalgic, and rewatching some parts of the anime was a real trip through memory lane. And maybe now to many people it may just seem like another kids show, but back in the day, the Metal Saga was truly peak.
For real.
Anyways though, with all that being said, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please like the video.
Anyways, the video's over, man. Come on, guys, man. This video, Beyblade was just peak, man. You just had to be there and watch that shit, man. Played those video games. I think they were video games. Played those real fight games, you know, with your friends. Bought those things. It was like Bakugan, man, but on steroids. But anyways, guys, if you like the content, go to like, subscribe, share, and peace.